What's good, y'all? Will here, also known as Will Keep It Real. Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we got a good one again, and that's life is what you make it. I like to say life is a card game or a game in general where you're given a deck of cards and it is your job to basically make the most out of it with what you're dealt. You know, what you're dealt, the circumstance you have in life, like what family you're born into isn't in your control. But at the end of the day, you got to do the best with what you have. It's like a game of Uno. Like, you get a deck of cards, you don't control what deck of cards you get, but that doesn't mean you don't try your best to still win the game with the cards you're dealt. No, you got to come up with a strategy to get the best hand. You know, sometimes you got to take out of life. Sometimes you're going to take on a lot more in life. And basically what you take on, you know what I'm saying, you got to strategize how to make a comeback. And you basically got to find your way down to limit the amount of stress you got, limit the amount of problems you have in your life. And that's just dealing your cards. But yeah, life is what you make it. Like, things are gonna happen. Experiences, situations are gonna pop up. Adversities, challenges are gonna go your way. And the thing a lot of us like to do is we like to dwell. You know, we like to complain. We like to basically play victim to life. You know, we love to express how we feel about our problem, express our problem itself, complain over it, say, oh, all these things are happening to me, my life's a mess. And instead, we have to gain the perspective of what are we going to do from here? You know, we have this problem, we have this scenario that we may have caused ourselves or made it just come upon us, whether it was in or out of our control, and it came upon us. So how can we think forward? You know, it does nothing to sit here and complain about it all day, mope about it, get upset over it, let it control you emotionally and bottle you up. Think forward, think of the next step, think of where you're trying to go and the steps it takes you to get there. You know, one of the things that happened in my life was I was big on football. I graduated class of 2021, and heading into senior year, you know, I put in all this work. I was grinding. I put in my best effort and my best, like pretty much all my time into football. Like, I was banking on going to play college football, whether it was D3, D2, whatever, because that was what I wanted to do. That was what I was passionate about. That was the goal I was pursuing at that time, after my whole time in high school having no goal to pursue. So when I finally found a goal and I finally locked in mentally on something, you know, I gave it my best effort. And as you know, 2020, 2021 was when COVID hit. So I ended up only having one senior year game. And that pretty much just messed up my whole recruitment process and messed up my whole film process. And for the longest, it was like I was depressed. Like, I genuinely didn't know what to look forward to. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life because I had centered it the past 6 months around football, just football every week. Like, football was literally my life. It was my passion at the time. It was something I wanted to pursue for more years. So to have that all taken away, you know, it took me out for a minute. Like, I was just doing school, but really in the house, I was just sitting there damn near depressed. Just like, I got in the gym more, but other than that, it was just school, gym, and the game. It was just like nothing to look forward to. I didn't want to go to college. I was just like, I'm gonna just go to community college. I got accepted into a bunch of colleges, but I didn't even have the drive or the care to even want to go to them because I was so set on going to play football somewhere. But regardless, you know, sitting there and just getting sad over it, just complaining about, dang, I wish I could have got a season. Dang, my coaches didn't help me out. Whatever excuses I made, whatever complaints I made, didn't make me progress to anywhere in life. You know, it was out of my control. COVID wasn't in my control. The decisions the coaches made wasn't in my control. So it was doing me no good to just sit there and complain about it. So at some point, I had to think forward. You know, I had to start understanding, okay, this is my scenario, this is my situation, this is my problem. What can I do moving forward? It doesn't mean no benefit to sit here dwelling and complaining and letting it upset me. What steps do I need to make in order to get a solution to the problem I have at hand? And, you know, I start coming up with things like, what am I interested in? What career do I want to start getting into? What business do I possibly want to start? And when you start thinking ahead and stop dwelling on your problem, you realize a lot of the problems you're really capable of fixing. Like, a lot of us like to complain over the little things, what other people think about us, how people feel about us, how people view us, what happened to us, what life did to us. We cause all these unnecessary stress and all these unnecessary emotions because we're focusing on the negative. We're not focusing on how we can positively move forward and how we can relieve this problem that we're facing. We rather just sit there and think of the worst case scenario, think of everything bad going on in our life. And it truly takes away the enjoyment of life because it always seems like we're going through something, but that's because we make it seem like we're going through something. We emphasize on what's happening and we emphasize on all the bad going on and never emphasize on how to move positively forward or even the positive that's going on in our life. Things happen, like financially, whether it's business wise, anything, like things happen to you in your life. You lose people, you lose certain things. And it seems like once that one thing goes wrong, everybody seems to just automatically focus on what they lost instead of what they still have. Like, you still have people around you more than likely, or you're still financially stable. Probably you still probably have a roof over your head, and it seems like that one thing just goes bad, and that's the only thing we focus on, and it truly takes away our enjoyment or even ability to see all the good things we have going on in our life. But again, life is what you make it. Like, you could sit around, you could complain about it all day, but things are inevitable to happen. Adversities, challenges are gonna happen to you. That's the only way you're capable of growing in life. You have to take on things you've never done before and be able to learn, be open to learning, and be open to trying again and doing better the next time. It's like in the gym, like, at some point you can't stay at 5 pounds, 10 pounds forever. Like, at some point you have to move up to those 20s. You have to move up to those 25s in order to see that growth within yourself, see the results on your body. And the same applies to life in general. Like, you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to step outside of the things that are happening to you and learn how to move forward. Like, it's not always going to be rainbows and sunshines. Like, there's going to be struggle involved. There's going to be pain involved, but you have to focus on moving forward rather than focusing on the problem itself. And that's where a lot of us get so caught up. We have this mindset of life is happening to us, where I have the mindset of life is happening for me. Like, I view these situations that come my way, these adversities, these challenges, as an opportunity to prove who I am, an opportunity to prove I could take on challenges and adversities that come my way in life, rather than sitting there and complaining about them and saying, dang, I can't move forward, or dang, this is happening to me, so now my life is over, or I can't do this specific thing in life because this is going on. It's an opportunity for me to show, like, hey, I'm really, I trust myself and I trust the gifts that God has gifted me with to be able to handle this chaos and turn it into a scenario of peace where I could look back and be like, I got through that, so I could get through this in life. I could get through this in life. Like, I look at myself and all the adversities and challenges I face in life, I look at them as accomplishments. Like, when new things come my way in life, I'm like, all right, I've been through this before. I'm a person who consistently gets through hard times and hard adversities, where others, they sit there and complain about it and give up because of the pain they feel or how hard they think it is. Like, you truly have to change your mindset when it comes to the things that inevitably will come your way in life. Because if not, then you'll end up limiting yourself. You'll always have an excuse for not taking that next step. You'll always have an excuse for not taking action on that plan or vision you have for yourself, because you say, oh, my mom don't believe in me, I don't have friends supporting me, I don't have the money right now, or I don't feel like I'm prepared, or I don't think I'm ready. Like, you'll always come up with an excuse for what's happening now rather than looking forward to what you need to do in order to get to where you want to be. Just because you aren't ready now, okay, work on becoming prepared to be ready. And you're not always going to be ready. There is no such thing as knowing it all and being an expert at what you're trying to start doing. You're not going to be the best at it at your first start. Like, sometimes the whole process of learning and getting experience is to start. Like, that is how you learn. That is how you gain experience. Like, that's how you gain knowledge, by actually doing the thing and then again failing and learning from your failures and then learning how to move forward. And the same applies with any area in life. Friendships, relationships. You're gonna have people where you mess up, people are gonna mess up towards you, and you're gonna lose people in life, or you're gonna have to cut off certain people in life. And you have to view them as learning steps. Like, okay, what did I like in this situation? What did I like in this relationship? Or what didn't I like? You truly have to change your perspectives on how you view these losses and adversities that just are going to come with life. Because at the end of the day, you're only here for a certain amount of time. And if all you do is spend your youth or your whole life just complaining and focusing on the negative and never being able to move forward, then you'll never get the most out of life. You'll never be able to fulfill your full potential because all you ever did was focus on what was happening to you, what was going wrong, the worst case scenario. You were never able to move forward because you were always focused on the negative aspect. So yeah, life is what you make it. You could either choose to live in your insecurities and your fears and your anxieties and your negativities and what's happening to you in life, or you can decide to move forward. You can have goals set for yourself. You can understand that who you are now isn't who you have to be forever. Like, you don't have to play victim to life. You could see life in the aspect of life is happening for you and it's teaching you and it's helping you grow as a person, and see it as an opportunity to become the person you want to be. But yeah, man, if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. I hope it brought you some value and I hope you learned a thing or two. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, go join the Discord community. I look to talking to you guys soon. Peace.